I'm just gonna show you guys how ridiculous my setup is. There's snow on the playground here, so I put a dish mat down, and then I've got my laptop here to talk, and then I've got my light here, and then I'm gonna put my blanket over the top to diffuse. But you know what? Long live the playground. Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna be talking about ski length. And specifically, we're gonna watch some of the Ski Monsters content. I reacted to them in the past. There was some video I was watching, I guess it was a little bit dated, but they were talking about like the one ski quiver versus multi-ski quiver, and it was mostly baloney. I don't know. Since then, they've kind of blown up with a couple of videos, one talking about ski boot size and width, and another one about ski length, so I'm gonna be reacting to the Ski Monster more. Now, that being said, I don't have any like personal dislike for this guy. He seems nice, he seems cheery. He gives what seems to be fairly accurate information in a fairly honest way. I mean, he does sell the stuff, so it's hard to tell, but I don't get any like terribly bad vibes. I guess I only watched the one video and it was kind of baloney, but you know, that I'm sure I could watch a bunch of my own videos and think it was baloney. We're gonna be reacting to him. As far as an update, yeah, I am in the jungle gym. It's winter. I've got family in town for Christmas. I'm doing stuff with my kids. I really wish I was on snow, but my family did not bring their ski boots. Why on earth they didn't do that? I don't know, but you know, it's late at night. I'm gonna make a video for you guys. All right, the first one I saw was a short. I don't typically like to react to those just because of the formatting, but let's try something different. Let's react to his short. Ski Monster, let's see what he has to say. And here we go.
So what was the reason for me doing that? When I stood on this longer 2x4, it flexed quite a bit. It was bouncier. When I was on the shorter 2x4, it was stiff. It didn't bend at all. And if we built skis the same way, the longest skis would be really soft and the shortest skis would be really stiff. So what manufacturers do in effort to get all skis within a model line to ski the same is they need to add more reinforcement to the longer skis and take away material from the shorter skis. Part of the reason why years ago you would have certain sizes ski well is because size-specific construction didn't exist. Size-specific construction makes it so all skis within a line truly ski the same. This is why some sizes within a model line would be duds. A ski where size-specific construction is very clear is if you look at the Mantra M6, you can see on their tailored Titanol frame how there is more metal on the longer skis. Metal isn't used to stiffen up skis. That's really done with the wood core and adding carbon to a ski. Metal's job is to make the ski damper. So how are they making those longer skis stiffer? A lot of that is done by simply having a thicker wood core, maybe more carbon fiber, but the shorter skis are going to have thinner wood core. Now, once you get to the shorter lengths, which women's skis generally are, there is going to be less material and less reinforcement. They simply don't need as much. They don't have less because manufacturers think you're less of a skier. They just have less, so they ski more similar to the bigger sizes. Big skis need more reinforcement. Shorter skis.
Okay, that was a lot of information. Have you guys ever seen like the new Star Wars movie where there's just like, now we're going on this, and now there's horses on a spaceship, and now Chewbacca might be dead, but oh my gosh. And anyway, long story short, it's like blasting you with a lot of information, and some of it is very right and very accurate, and some of it is a little off. Let me dissect that and see what I can remember. Yes, longer skis can be softer if they're made out of the same material. I thought that was just kind of like commonplace knowledge. When I was a ski racer, I skied on a 191 Rosignol, and I actually preferred it to the 185 or 188, whatever it was. I preferred it because it created a little bit more leverage and a little bit more of a springboard. I've never looked at it as like, oh, it's not being true to the identity of the shorter one. I just looked at it as a feature, similar with ski boots where it's creating leverage. As far as the construction, saying that Titanol doesn't give it any more rigidity isn't completely correct. I don't know where he got that from, but metal is not just dampness. You can feel it in the apex of a turn when you flex it. He's not like totally wrong. Like the material of wood can be used. You can use different types of wood to create a gradual flex, but basically metal is gonna like make it so that your top end of loading a ski doesn't max out. When you get it to the apex, it's not gonna completely max out. It can also like kind of affect the timing of how it flexes. As somebody who skied on wood and Titanal skis, that's not totally true. It's kind of true. Like some skis can use metal to really work on dampness. Stokely does a lot of that with like, especially like the metal top sheets and things like that. But for the whole part, that's not entirely true. In my understanding of it, I guess I'm not, maybe I'm wrong, but my understanding of it is that Titanal creates higher top end at the apex of the turn. That was, at least that's my understanding. But you can't say that Titanal doesn't add to the stiffness of it. What? Have you skied on the carbon version and the Titanal version? It's not just dampness. I mean, look at an Atomic Maverick. Atomic Maverick 88 Ti, that's a Titanal ski. That has metal. It's not a damp ski. You know, it's a lot of great things. It's my ski of the year, but it's not a damp ski. He's saying it, a lot of stuff really fast. Some of it's kind of right, but some things like that, like Titanal doesn't add to the flex. It absolutely does. It creates a whole different threshold. That's why a lot of beginner skis aren't Titanal, because they're not going all the way to that threshold. It's a waste of weight. It's a waste of money. They don't need that entire threshold. You could argue it's for dampness too. I agree with that part, but it's not completely for dampness. That's baloney. At least as far as I can tell, that's total baloney. What else? I mean, he said some really good stuff though. Like, they definitely have changed the construction in order to match it better. Whether or not it's perfect, I think you could argue. I think you definitely find soft spots in long skis. As somebody who's 6'1" and like people are constantly trying to give me long skis, I would say that there's a weirder sweet spot. So that's not entirely true that they're perfect, but they definitely do that. I think that the misconception out there about length is that it's completely tied to your height. I think it's only marginally tied to your height because it's kind of like proportional to the leverage you get. But there are people who are shorter who are really strong or really capable who get just as much leverage as someone like me. My friend Josh, who is not a tall guy, he is very strong, very disciplined, and very nuanced in his skiing, and he's able to get just as much, if not more, leverage than I do. Same for Zach. Zach's a little bit shorter than me, not much, like a couple inches, but he probably gets more leverage out of his skis because he's dynamic, he's capable, he's just a really, really good skier. So this misconception that it's entirely tied to height, I think is common, and so then like when you look at the shorter skis, you're like, oh, you need to make them a little bit softer. And it's like, well, maybe not really actually. You could have a ski where you just want that turn radius out of it, and you maybe want a little bit of a stiffer ski. You don't need it to be softer. Or you're looking at it from like a backcountry perspective. Maybe you just want more room to get the ski sideways without getting caught in the trees. There's much more that goes into length other than just how tall are you and how much leverage are you getting. It's important, but it's only a piece of the picture. So that's my opinion on this. Overall though, like a good demonstration, and it's very basic on leverage, and I kind of forget that people don't think about that. So I think he did a good job educating people about leverage, but he missed like, I think a couple other pieces of the pie when it comes to information about ski length. I have a whole video about it. It's one of my earlier videos, but people seem to like it, so I'm gonna link it down below. Oh, also speaking of that ski length video, it was featured in Powder Magazine, and I started to read the article because like several of my friends sent it to me, but the article, it was just kind of like saying, hey, this is a really good take. So I'll take it where I can get it. I don't know. I also hate reading, so I kind of skimmed it. That's why I make YouTube videos. Yeah, and yes, I know I was a writer for Ski Racing Magazine, but those kind of formulaic web articles, it was cool that they featured me. What else happened? A lot has happened. Bode Miller invited me to go ski. And Bode, by the way, I sent you a comment, but YouTube is really weird about comment replies. So Bode, you want to come ski? Meet me here in Boise at Bogus Basin. I'll go ski with you. Whether or not I'm gonna like the skis more based on what you show me, I can't promise that. I gave him a 7 out of 10. That was my honest review. But if you want to come ski with Zach and I, open invitation. You have my email. Reach out. But next time, bring an 88. I want to try that ski too. Bode did a great job of being really active in the comments, so kudos to Bode. I always feel like when I see his profile that I'm like, is that the real Bode Miller? And it's like, okay, I guess so. But yeah, Bode, if you want to go ski, that'd be fun. I don't know. I'm not a very starstruck person. I worked with like Andrew Weibrecht and Ted Rickety and all those guys. And when I was a teenager, I thought Ted Rickety was just the coolest guy ever. But now that I'm an adult, I'm just like, oh, these are just people. But Bode, if you want to go ski, sure. let's do it. I think Bode grew up not far from where I grew up in New Hampshire. Yeah, I grew up in Vermont and a little bit in New Hampshire, so sure, let's take some runs. Why not? I'm always open to that kind of thing. What else happened? Oh, also, I got an email saying I was approved for the Curated Expert Program. Can you believe it? When I was first starting my series reacting to Curated, I actually applied to be a Curated expert because I want to see what kind of questions they get asked or like how they weed out the experts. But no, I will not be going forward and becoming a Curated expert. I thought it would make for really funny content and like going and answering their questions. But as I got farther down the line, they had a lot of like NDA, non-disclosure stuff. And I was like, okay, well, if I can't make videos about Curated, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this. So Curated, if you're willing to like forego the NDA, I'll be a Curated expert for a day. That might be kind of funny content. I have been really harsh towards Curated, but you know what? I've got one of the guys on their team in the comments. He is hilarious. They are very good humored. They don't seem like too self-important. I gotta say, I was hard on Curated and they deserved a lot of it, but they really took it in good strides. So yes, I was approved to be a Curated expert, but I'm probably not gonna do it if I can't make content about it. As much as I think that stuff's funny, I'm never gonna do anything that signs away my right to tell you the truth about skis. So that's the other update. Bode Miller, Curated. I'm sure I'm missing a couple others, but I don't know. It's been a wild ride. My heater in my house also went out. It wasn't producing any heat. It was basically a flame sensor that went out. So I cleaned it temporarily and then I'm gonna replace it when the part comes in tomorrow. But I've also been very busy with that. Also, for all the people saying, why didn't you just hire a guy to come fix your heater? You know what? That is expensive. And what I'm pretty good at doing is YouTubing small, cheap fixes, and I'll always try those, especially really commonplace issues that you can find on YouTube. I will go attempt those fixes, especially when they're basic, and if those fall through, that's when I'll call the guy. I decided to make a fix myself. It worked, and we're gonna like officially replace the part tomorrow. I've got one more update for you though. Hold on one second. Check it out. The guys over at Renoun sent me a loaner pair of skis to try. These guys I'm particularly interested in because these skis were made in Burlington, Vermont. As some of you may know, I was raised in Vermont. I'm a native Vermonter, so I am very interested to try these skis. I've heard people say good things and that they're very ingenuitive. I know nothing about them and I don't want to know because I'm going to test them blind. But just so you guys know, Renoun, they pulled through. One of our subscribers, Cyrus, sent these out and he said, hey, I'll send you skis to test. So we're gonna test these. We also have head skis that were sent to us. Vocal says there's stuff on the way. So there are lots of ski reviews on the way, but I just wanna shout out, there's not a lot of small ski companies that are willing to take on someone being critical. Peak Skis did it and I gave them a bunch of commendation for that. So Renoun, fair game. I'm gonna review these honestly. Thank you for sending them and letting me try them. But that'll come down the line. I just wanted to give these guys a shout out because I was very impressed with their initiative. So thank you, Renoun, for sending me these. You should see a review within the next couple weeks. Right on. The other update I wanted to do is just give you guys an update on my ski boots. I have not had any work done on these. I just broke them in while I edited videos. I've got the booster strap, I've got the spoiler in the back, and I have to say, I am super happy with these boots. I've probably skied on them, I don't know, maybe 10 days total. I've been very happy with these, no complaints, no issues. I was really hesitant going from Lang to Atomic. I've been on Lang for almost 20 plus years, but they upped the price of their boots and something didn't feel right when I tested them out. So very excited to be on Atomic for the season. They don't sponsor me, okay? I bought last year's boots for half price. I'm sure they wouldn't want me telling you that, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Buy last year's boots, they're half the price, same boot, different color, and you know what? These boots are nice. I'm very happy with the quality, very happy with the fit. Nice job, Atomic. So hopefully the next video is on snow. I feel like I'm going a little stir crazy in the house, but more than anything, just thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps my channel out a lot, but as always, just the fact that you watch this video means a lot to me, so thank you. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.